Hey, what's up guys, over here. So today we're going to be looking at yet another Nijisanji EN graduation and yet another terrible look for the company. Now, graduations are always a sad bit of news for fans of a VTuber to hear. However, with Nijisanji, there's something kind of interesting with a lot of the recent graduation announcements, and it's that a lot of people are meeting it with a sigh of relief that basically their favorite VTuber is free of this hellhole and can now have a successful independent career without so many occupational hazards and creative limits to worry about like they did at Nijisanji. So who is the latest VTuber to graduate from Nijisanji EN? Well, it is Victoria Brightshield. She'll be graduating in 2 weeks, and if you've been paying attention to her time with Nijisanji, which has been about 13 months, you knew the writing was on the wall for this graduation. It was going to happen eventually because it seems very clear, and even from her own comments we'll look at later in this video, she has had a very hard time at this company. It seems like she is constantly dealing with these external issues with the company, and on top of that, as we'll hear later in this video, she literally describes her experience with the company as one that left her feeling small and defeated. In fact, things are so bad that she's questioning whether or not she even has the spirit to continue making content generally. That's how tough things have been with her stay at Nijisanji. So what are the things that we're talking about when we say she had a hard time? Well, publicly we can only know so much, but this is really the first thing. I mean, this probably was a big red flag from the beginning with her experience there, where she comes in October of 2023, and part of that process, she says her favorite Oshis, her favorite VTubers, are Selene Tatsuki and Palmu Rainpuff, who were in the company, obviously. They were with Nijisanji EN. And we know what happens only a few months later. Palmu graduates, and then Selene Tatsuki gets terminated. And that had to be a very surreal experience for her, right? You go in, you see your two Oshis leave, and one of them get terminated in a very messy set of drama. Like, imagine seeing your Oshi finally get into her company, you're working alongside her, then she gets terminated, and in the process we learned that she was bullied internally at the company to the point of attempting her own life twice. And then you see all of your coworkers, your new coworkers, band together and throw her under the bus. It had to be an absolutely eye-opening experience for Vivi at that moment. But there's some other things that happened. A few months ago, there was a NBA collab with Nijisanji, and there's obviously, with the size of the NBA roster of teams, there's a lot of spots. And unfortunately, Vivi was left out of that, and she would make this tweet basically saying how bad it feels to be left out, and also that she found out about not being in the collaboration through their public announcements. So she didn't even know that she was being left out until it was publicly announced, and she responded to that with these tweets. And this is the most recent controversy she has had, where she was a part of Seijin Slam, a Street Fighter 6 tournament, and she was going to be alongside in the tournament with Dokibird, who is obviously the independent past life account of Selene Tatsuki, and they were going to be in the same tournament, and there were conditions placed by Nijisanji that these two could not interact in any sort of a way, which is really, really obnoxious to see. And I've already seen a lot of the Niji sisters on Twitter today trying to justify that move by saying, well, they were probably going to be in different skill divisions all along, so they probably never were going to interact in any sort of a way, which, yeah, that might be true, but the fact that there's these conditions in the first place is what should make you upset. Like, seeing one of your favorite VTubers get barred from interacting with one of her favorite VTubers should upset you. It should leave a bad taste in your mouth. And the fact that they're not only controlling what their current members are doing and who they can interact with, Nijisanji is also controlling who their former talents can interact with. And personally, that just doesn't sit right with me, and it shouldn't sit right with you either. But anyways, Victoria Brightshield would go live after this graduation announcement, and she would spend some time, about 10 or 15 minutes of the stream, talking about what's going on with this graduation. And quite frankly, it's a tough watch. Like, it's genuinely depressing. Like, she's describing her process being here and that she is so apologetic to her fans that she let them down. But it seems very clear from the section we're going to watch right now that she is just defeated. Like, she is just, there's no other way of saying it. Her time with Nijisanji has literally broken her down. It has crushed her soul. They're not just trying to basically make you just exhausted as a talent. They literally want to break your soul to the point where you just have no self-confidence and you feel guilty for everything happening to you, even though most of it's not even your own fault. So let's listen to what she had to say here.
There's so many things that has happened with my time here, and it's made me feel so yippee. Made me feel really small. It made me feel really bad. I yippee don't understand. It's made me question myself, and I don't know. I feel like I'm just like I'm defeated, man.
Like, imagine one of your talents describing their experience at your company as defeated, as feeling small, and all these related things. It's a terrible look for Nijisanji. And just like I said, the Niji sisters are out there somehow trying to jump through all kinds of hoops to justify what's happening here. If you actually care about the talents and you hear the way they're describing their experience with the company, how can you still support that stuff or try to justify it in any sort of a way?
I don't know. I tried my best. I wish I could endure. There were things that I was trying to look forward to and tried to do, but when those bad things keep happening and they keep adding up, I guess I'm tired. I don't have that fight in me anymore.
Yeah, like I said, literally a soul-crushing experience. If you're not one of the favorites at Nijisanji, in particular Nijisanji EN, it seems like they'll do everything in their power to break you down, right? They don't include you in things. They make all of your projects and your collaborations as difficult as possible, and they just wear you down to the point where it's soul-crushing. And eventually you leave. I don't know if this is like an active approach they have to certain talents that they want to get rid of. I don't know, but like, how do you explain these sorts of things? Like the examples we gave earlier about her being excluded from things or having these extra conditions. It's something we've seen with a lot of the former talents. And now that they're independent, a lot of them are extremely excited to not have to worry about those things again, and they're flourishing. You see people like Dokibird, right? But here's another clip I want to play. Again, just some further comments from her about her experience at Nijisanji.
I don't know. I feel broken. I don't really know. I think some of you guys are probably wondering about things for the future, but I really don't know. I don't know if I like streaming or content creation anymore. I feel like I don't know why I get treated this way. I feel and I know like it doesn't have to be this way. And yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
So yeah, hearing that is obviously pretty depressing. Not only has she been run out of Nijisanji, she can't just keep operating there. She's now questioning if she really has it in her to even make content anymore because of whatever's been going on the last year or so. It's left such a bad impression. It's such a bad association with content creation that it's muddied the waters to the point where she doesn't even want to do that anymore. Which, yeah, again, how can anyone sit here and try to justify that? And you can see her apologizing profusely throughout this whole thing. And you can see she has a very nice community, right? I don't think anyone was worried about their reaction. They're super supportive, and that's how it's been. But you can see, she's talking about all these bad things that are happening and all this bad stuff around her. I mean, what else could she be talking about other than the company itself? Because everything else seems like it's going pretty well. But here's the thing that I definitely want to bring to your attention. She talks about not being sure if she wants to continue making content. Well, whether she does or not, this is her former account. This is her independent account, Mogu Ghost. If you want to give it a follow, I'll put a link to it in the description. And maybe if she sees enough support, she'll want to continue on with content creation. And this is one of the things I'm glad has deteriorated over the past couple of years. The taboo surrounding sharing past life accounts like this. This used to be a very bad thing to do. Like, mentioning this would have gotten me and a lot of other people in trouble, but I like that this taboo has disappeared and that people can direct you where to go to find your graduated VTuber from Nijisanji or whatever company, and you can go continue supporting their career if she decides to continue with her career in content creation. And there's one more thing I want to talk about, and that is the states of this Nijisanji EN generation Triple T, which, as you can see with Vivi's graduation, the Triple T is now a singular T, with the only person left being Claude Clawmark, who, as you can see, doesn't really enjoy my tweets. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This guy is now an island by himself, the same guy who said this legendary quote.
There are some people who are being like, oh my god, how come the lifers can't have their own button? How come they can't take it home? And it's like, all right, dog, you know what? If we really wanted one, we could just fucking ask. But whatever, man. You know, I think...
Yeah, so he's the one with the infamous "we could just effing ask" quote when he is talking about silver play buttons not going out to Nijisanji livers, which we know what he's saying is a load of BS, especially from quotes that have come from former Nijisanji talents who have shared that they were not able to get their silver play button. There's infinite evidence to suggest against what he was trying to claim there. But yeah, he's on an island now, and I don't know what they're going to do with him. They're going to make him join with another generation. Who knows? But that's the current status of that generation. And really, that's all we got to say about this graduation. Again, another Nijisanji EN graduation, one that comes with a lot of baggage, one that really shows that there's something not right with this company. It's just another horrible look, and it's a very telling time when people have relief when they see a graduation notice from this company, because they now know that their favorite talent is free and can go out and avoid all the toxicity going on with this organization, and they can actually flourish as a content creator with all these limits on them. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.